Welcome one and all to episode 3 of the 2027 season. Here of our Colorado Rockies save. I'll just quickly this is just an episode to quickly go over what happened between I think it was the draft and the end of the season. You can kind of get some spoilers here, but let's go to the schedule. Well, here we go. We did fine enough to end off July. I would say at least. I mean, it was like a fine enough time. August though, things really went downhill. You'll notice a lot of red here. It was not really a great month for us. I mean, how many wins did we get? One, two. Well, we got some wins, but not like Still, I would generally consider it a losing month. And then you had September, which was let's see, was that a continue? I would call that a relative continuation. It was a bit better, but still not a good month. We had some tough scheduling. And I think it was, of course, obviously in September we got knocked out. And in October we technically went 3-0, but we're taking on the Athletics, who are not really that good, so it didn't really matter much anyways. How are the Athletics doing? I actually want to see this. I don't know why. Because next year I'm actually going to have to make the Athletics in Las Vegas. I'll do it once the preseason begins for next year, but they're going to be in Las Vegas next year. I'm not going to change the logo. They'll just kind of keep the logo. They still are not that good. They're 72 and 90, so they're actually worse than we are, surprisingly. But anyways, where should we go here? We'll just go here. Let's go team home screen. Well, looking at how we ended off the year, we finished 77 and 85, well outside of the wild card. Actually, not that far outside of it placement-wise. We were only the 6th wildcard team, which isn't like that bad. We've had worse seasons, obviously, but yeah, not really great. Nolan Grimmondo was by far a standout player of us. I was not expecting him to do anything, but he did very well. He got 34 home runs this year. A great signee for us. What can I say? Along with Grimond, we ended up having Chase Dollander, obviously he's a pretty good prospect for me. He's always been a really good player when I've had him. And this year, in 2027 with the Rockies, he did very well. 18 wins, 11 losses, 35 games started. A pretty great player overall, I'd have to say there. 53 overall, 56 potential. Very, very good. And, yeah, that's basically it for Dollander right there. Let's see what the hell else happens here. And now we're going to look at we're going to look at who ended up making the playoffs here, and I think that'll be it for this episode. I could maybe sim towards the World Series, but in case you can't tell, it's running very slow. So I'm probably just going to go and show you guys what happened here. The Yankees, actually I'll just go to the standings, because that's a bit easier to show, I'd say, once it actually does load up here. Yeah, the Yankees won the AL East by a landslide, and they're also the best team in the MLB. 106 wins. They were very, very great this season. Winning the AL Central was the Kansas City Royals, and winning the AL West was surprisingly the LA Angels. Let's see, who do they have currently on their team, if it's going to even show up. They have Denzer. They have some players here. They have Denzer Guzman. I think it's really just they had Nolan Shannywell did very good with them. They had Zach Anito. They have some good players. I guess the AL West was also not really that competitive. It was really just them and the Rangers. Pitching wise, they're led by Mitch Ferris, who did great, along with Brendan Walter and who's this guy? Jose Soriano. Yeah, so they're a 3-man pitching rotation. Or maybe they had more, but obviously we're in the playoff season, so that might be why it's only 3. And yeah, we'll have to wait a lot here because again, this is just not really fun. The Mets win the NL. Or actually, we'll go over the wild cards. And the wild cards in the AL ends up being, was sorted by record. The Guardians, and then tied for second and third. Tied for second were the Orioles and the Twins. In the NL East, you have the Mets winning No wild cards for the NL. Just do it like that, yeah. Cardinals win the NL Central with the Cubs and Reds being the wild cards there, and then the Dodgers win the NL West with the Diamondbacks serving as the wild card. And I mean, yeah, that's basically it there. The playoff. I think, yeah, the Dodgers and Yankees end up getting the first. So the Yankees Royals get the byes in the AL, and the Dodgers and the Cardinals got it in the NL. That's basically it for this episode. It's a pretty short one. I hope you all enjoyed, and goodbye.